Welcome to the Echo Ratings Eventing Podcast, and it is the Blenheim Palace International Horse Trials brought to you by the Jockey Club Review Show. Because, listeners, what a weekend. Rosie Russell is sat alongside me. Rosie, I love being at Blenheim.
It's amazing. What a venue. And what a competition. It's been really, really exciting. The show jumping has been really influential in the 4-star long. Time was tight in the 4-star short. It's been exciting, really exciting.
It's been a really good weekend. There has been a lot of multitasking going on, listeners. Shall we start with a 4-star long format? Because Marlin Hansen-Hossop and Carlitos Quidditch K actually led from the front. It is Marlin's best ever international finishing score with this horse. It is her third international victory. She absolutely nailed it, and she actually won with quite a convincing victory in the end. Marlin, who came over with Dirk Schrader, she is a semi-pro rider. She has just come over with her dogs, and essentially, you know, this was a big question for her, but she absolutely delivered. And the most brilliant looking horse. I mean, he's big, he's grey, he's flashy, his dressage was superb, and then he just backed it up in both the jumping phases, looking really, really classy. And I mean, they've been top 20 at Buccleuch, but this is a brilliant result for her. Dirk Schrader, Rosie, I mean, I think he would have been a little bit disappointed with his dressage score, but he actually took second, so it was a German 1-2. Casino 80, I think, looks like a brilliant potential German team horse as well.
100%. He was class this weekend, and it's so nice to see these riders, like Pippa does it, supporting all the younger riders all the time. But I was there at the end watching, you know, Dirk had done his round, brilliant clear in second, but my god, he was so happy for Marlin, and he was really like, you could feel how much it meant to him that she'd done well. Even though she beat him, he was delighted for her, and I think that's just such a lovely moment when these older riders are doing that and helping out these younger people.
Well, do you know what? Let's go and hear what Marlin had to say after her clear round in the show jumping.
Congratulations, Marlin. You've just won Blenheim 4-star long on your lowest ever international finishing score. Yeah, just sum it up.
True. Yeah, I can't believe. This horse is just a world horse, and I'm so happy to have him, and he's such a good show jumper. The last times in Lumülen and Arras we just won down, and it's untypical, so I try to don't have pressure and be concentrated, and he's just a great horse. I can't say anything else.
It's amazing. And you've come here with Dirk. What's his influence been on you?
I think I really wanted to go to England. It's the first time in England, and I was really focused that I want to go to Blenheim. And I'm here and I'm the winner, so I think I will come back.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
God, I'm emotional now. It's going to set me off. Just incredible. So a German 1-2. Bobby Upton actually moved up to third. And I'd have to say, Jefferson 18 looks like the real deal. He galloped brilliantly cross country. Some of his dressage work was almost pure dressage quality. He had this incredible trot work that was just stunning, and there were a few marks that really let him down, but there were some really big marks in there as well, and you just feel he got a 29, but you just feel there is so much more in there. Finished on his dressage score, and I think it feels like a bit of redemption for what has been a tough year at times for Bobby.
Yeah, definitely. I think Amy Woodhead's really helped with that dressage, where Bobby gets to ride some of Amy's horses. I know she says it's made her realise how off the leg the dressage horses are, and I think that that's really helped her flat work. But he is proper class, and I think they've really gelled now, and she's definitely one to watch on him because he's an amazing jumper as well.
His gallop was insane. There's accommodation at fence 4 on the cross country, and if you missed any of the action from Blenheim, you can go and watch it back on the Jockey Club's YouTube channel. There was a fence at 4 which a lot of people had been kinking on the 5 strides. It was like a big table to a corner, and Bubby literally cantered through on the 4, and it looked like if she'd have actually just lengthened her rein slightly, probably just gone on 3. I mean, he just has the most enormous stride, and it looked absolutely brilliant. Other notable performance inside the top 10, Gemma Stevens had 2 inside the top 10. She'll be frustrated with a rail down on Jalapeno, but Flash Cooley jumped to super clear. Lizzie Boff, on her debut at 4-star long, would be absolutely delighted with a 6th place finish. And Felicity Collins, friend of the show, 29.5, she finished in 4th, and a personal best finishing score at the level for her. Sarah Bullymore-Corraway had a rail down in the show jumping, which was really strange actually, because I mean he was absolutely jumping out of his skin, but just landed on the back rail coming out of a combination. That dropped her down to 8th from 3rd. And then Gubby Leach and Alex Bragg, both of their horses looked absolutely superb in all of the jumping phases, Royal Harvest and Quindiva. So lots to look forward to there. Let's talk 8 and 9 year olds. Because I have to admit, Rosie, my attention has mostly been focused on the 4-star long format here. But the Prediction Centre delivered, and it was Piggy March and the little unicorn Halo that took the top spot.
Yeah, he's proper class. Unicorn is definitely the right word for him. And, you know, it's his first completion at this level to come out and pull off a 21.3. And Piggy knew she had a bit of time to spare cross country, so just took it a bit easy. She had 2.8 time penalties, but that was tactical. She knew she had time, just wanted to educate him. But he looks proper class.
He looks really, really cool. It did get in the way of a record finishing score in the 8 and 9 year old class, but it's okay. Lots to look forward to for the future. And owned by Jane McGivern, who has been a big supporter of Piggy's, and who of course owned Quarry Crest Echo, her World Championship ride from the last Worlds in Tryon. So let's go and hear what Piggy had to say after that victory.
You literally just jumped off the horse, Piggy, after a winning round with Halo. You were leading from start to finish, and he's won his first 4-star completion. Take us through it all.
Oh, yeah, he's amazing. I'm just so delighted for the little horse, because I think a lot of him. And my owner, Jane McGivern, who's been so supportive for me over my career. She came to me in 2012 when everything felt like it was all running away from me. It was, probably my worst year of my life. And she came along wanting to support. And it's days like this that make us, so proud, and, to be able to give them something back with such a special horse as well, hopefully for the future. This is his first time at this level, and I haven't done masses with him all year. He's been beautifully produced by Kevin McNabb, so as far as getting to know him and getting together, it made my job a lot easier, because he was already a lovely established young horse. And I was hoping he would go well, but there's, we all know there's going well and there's going really well, or just things slightly going your way or not going your way. And but he felt really solid. I mean, there's more to him. I could have kicked on more. I just felt there was that I had a little bit in hand, not to be too risky or risk it for a biscuit. If I knew I had 0.1 to get, then I would have ridden him to think that I had 0.1. But he's also not that experienced at this level at all. It's a massive occasion here to get the crowds and the cheers, and just how the whole terrain and the water and everything is. He would learn loads from this, but I did want to make sure that I gave him a good time and gave him the best chance he could of winning, but also he had a comfortable, confident time for the future. I think a lot of him, and I just didn't want to rag his heart out there on the line and make silly mistakes that upset him. And he's a stallion as well. I haven't had much experience with them, so it's just very important that he is happy with me, and he loves this as well. And I think he's had a great week. So it's very, very exciting.
It's very exciting. You mentioned he's a stallion. Do you think there'll be any breeding programme in the future or not?
Definitely in the future. He hasn't done anything yet, no covering yet, no babies around yet, but it is definitely the plan with him. At what point, we don't know. It could be any point, to be honest. But right up to this moment, we are very interested in just keeping him for sport to see where he goes. But I mean, he's a beautiful little horse. The world will be a lovely place if there are a lot more of him to ride, because it makes your job a lot easier. But just at the moment, because his temperament is so brilliant, I'd like to keep it that way to give him every chance with a bit more sport. So we'll wait and see, but that is the plan.
Brilliant, congratulations.
Thanks.
For anybody, Rosie, that isn't familiar with what it is like to be down in the mix zone, give us a little insight into what it feels like, because it's a pretty cool place to be, isn't it?
It's really cool because you get that initial reaction. So, like, as soon as the riders have finished, they come over to you to have a chat, and you get the pure emotion of what it means to win these classes, and it's a brilliant place to be. Like I say, you get all the emotion and the good and bad emotion. You realise what it is for these riders when it goes wrong, how they feel about it, and how much love they have for the horse, because normally the mix zone is located quite near the finish line of the cross country, if you're at cross country, or up at show jumping, obviously the exit. So even when things don't go to plan, you can clearly see horse comes first, because the love that they have for those horses. They may be disappointed with their performance, but the horses are 100% come first. But no, being in the mix zone, I think, is one of the best seats in the house, because you get the TV to watch all the action, and then you get the riders full of emotion.
Rosie's like, I'm pretending this is work.
Yeah, I know.
It's a really hard life. It's always a really cool insight, though, into kind of what it is that goes on out on course and what it means. And as you say, the emotions are always really high. The adrenaline is sky high as well. So Piggy took the top spot. Sarah Bullimore, Avita AP, actually took second, just ahead of Caroline Powell and Greenacre Special Cavalier, who I know we flagged up as ones to watch here. Caroline Powell has a great record in this class, and actually this horse really won for the future for Team New Zealand. Other really cool names actually to see inside the top 10. There's the likes of Danny Evans, Monbeg Just Blue, they finished fourth. Emily King, Imposant. Emily would have been cursing her rail down in the show jumping, which proved pretty costly, but still very, very impressive from her. Sarah Ennis had one in there. In fact, Ireland had two inside the top 10. Bill Levitt was in there. There's some really nice names. Stephen Heel finished in 8th. Hayden Hankey, who was second after the first two phases, actually was a little bit steady cross country. The horse who's been top 10 at Lilion picks up another top 10 here, but actually just not quite quick enough on this occasion to take the top spot. It was very competitive though, Rosie, because actually the time was tight enough out there. Only a handful made it, and actually time penalties and jumping penalties really made their mark on the leaderboard.
No, they really did. And where the time's tight, that's when obviously people will push to try and make it, and that's when mistakes creep in. And I think David Evans built a fantastic course for these 8 and 9-year-olds out there that allowed them to have experience but also learn at the same time. So I don't think the tight time was an issue. Obviously it caused penalties, but I think it was good to have these horses tested like that as part of that education.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in terms of Blenheim as a whole, it has been absolutely brilliant, actually. There has been such a lovely atmosphere. They've had lots of big screens playing World Championships coverage out here as well. There's been so much family fun. They've got loads of big inflatables. They've got falconry. They've got lots of displays. They've got virtual reality. Like, so many things for the family to be involved with. And I think if you're thinking of coming next year, or you've got small children, let's be honest, we all know that I love a day out if my child is entertained with me when I go, because Toby does not love a horse trials, listeners. I asked him at Cornbury, he came to Cornbury. Toby is my 4-year-old, for anybody who isn't, well, he's actually 3, he's nearly 4. I keep calling him 4, he's not 4 yet, but soon. And I said to him, Toby, would you like a pony? Knowing full well what the answer was going to be. And he looked me dead in the eye and he just went, no. And I was like, oh. But
not even the Shetlands that have been going round?
No, not even, no. Honestly, I bet if I'd have asked him if he wanted that quad bike that just drove past, he'd have been all over it. So, he definitely wouldn't come for the horses. He would, however, come for lots of family entertainment. And I think, there's lots of people in that situation. And it's a really nice way to involve people that don't necessarily come from a really, really sort of big equestrian background, that they haven't necessarily got a huge access into the sport, that to give them a real insight and to kind of showcase our sport in such a cool way, because it is such a fun weekend. So the Jockey Club have done an amazing job. They have brought some brilliant partners on board, and it is fantastic, in my opinion, for the sport, and I'm very excited to see what they can do with the event in the future.
It's been brilliant, and if I had more time, I would have gone to be licked by a virtual cow.
Should we go now, Rosie?
Why
I
not?
don't know if we've got time.
We'll see if the virtual cow is still there.
I feel like this has become a thing about our weekend. Anyway, look, it has been brilliant here at Blenheim. We hope that you've enjoyed all of the coverage and that you've enjoyed all of the coverage that's come out of Protoni as well. We will, of course, be back with lots more on the Echo Ratings Eventing podcast very soon. But thanks so much for listening. It is brilliant to have the Blenheim Palace International Horse Trials back for 2022 and, of course, presented by the Jockey Club for the second year. And we wanted to mention just a few of the partners who are helping to make it happen. So first of all, the official champagne partner, one of my personal favourites, I'll be honest, if anybody loses me at Blenheim, I will probably be checking out the Paul Roger tent, and they have been big supporters of eventing for a good number of years and continue that here at Blenheim. In fact, it was the favourite champagne of Sir Winston Churchill, who was born at Blenheim Palace and buried just a short distance away in Blaydon. Boodles are the official jewellery partner as well, and they are absolutely well worth a visit if you are heading to Blenheim. Brilliant to have them involved in eventing. And they have just the most incredible precious gemstones. The skill is just absolutely extraordinary as well. Go and check them out. NFU Mutual, who have long-standing relationships all through the equestrian industry, will be in the trade stand area, as well as the NFU Discovery Barn, which is in the family fun area, which allows visitors, both young and old, to immerse themselves in the world of farming, which is going to be lots of fun. Apparently, you could be licked by a virtual cow. I mean, listeners, you'll want to check it out. NAF, who are big supporters of the After Hours show and of eventing as a whole, and actually a couple of the NAF riders will be out in Protoni and Laura Collett and Tom McEwen, but they've got plenty of representatives still at Blenheim as well. Georgie Goss rides for them. The likes of Gemma Tattersall would be a Team NAF rider as well. So lots to look forward to there. And then this is one that I'm really very intrigued by, listeners, because for the first time, quintessentially are going to be partners of Blenheim Palace International Horse Trials. And they have pioneered the concept of lifestyle management. And it is essentially all around the singular proposition of bestowing back upon their members the invaluable gift of time. I mean, it sounds exactly what so many people in our industry need. And I, for one, will be checking them out. If you like your wheels and you like your engines, then Bentley will be there as the official vehicle partner. And you would definitely want to go and pay them a visit. And many of you will be familiar with Brookfield Equestrian as well. Lots of the Brookfield horses campaigned by Piggy March and Tom McEwen, and they actually offer a first-class livery and training base in the heart of Berkshire, just near Windsor Great Park. And so it is well worth going to find out a little bit more about what they do as well. It is fantastic to see so many new partners on board. And the final one I'm going to give a big shout out to is Parfum du Mali, who certainly for the first time that I've seen them involved in eventing, which is fantastic. And they will have a trade stand with samples near the Boodle showroom. And essentially it is all about the lifestyle of Chateau de Marly, which is a place dedicated to pleasure and celebration during the 18th century, a refined perfumery. And it just has so much history, so much heritage, and smells amazing as well. So look, go and visit all of the partners if you're at Blenheim this weekend. And most importantly, don't forget that there is fun for all of the family, because here at Blenheim this weekend, they've got over 130 trade stands. Under 18s get in for free. There is free children's entertainment on Saturday and Sunday, and certainly it is well worth a visit. It was absolutely jam-packed last year, and it was fantastic to see so many crowds back. So if you're interested, head along to Blenheim this weekend. If not, you will be able to watch the free live stream available via the Blenheim Palace International Horse Trials website, and keep your ears peeled for lots of special guests that will be coming into the commentary box throughout. So there you go, listeners. Fantastic to have some new partners on board. Really appreciate all of their support. And as we always say, please do show your support as well, because it really is enormously important to help drive the sport forward. Lots to look forward to at Blenheim this weekend. Let's crack on with the preview show.